I'm so glad that you're joining me today for what I believe is one of the most transformative journeys that we can take together, understanding childhood trauma and its profound impact on the nervous system. So, my hope is by the end of this course, you'll not only have a clear understanding of what childhood trauma really is, but also begin to connect the dots on why certain feelings, reactions, or challenges in your life might still persist. We'll explore on how these early experiences are imprinted on your nervous system, influencing the way you think, the way you feel, the way you behave as an adult. So, as we move through this, I invite you to take a deep breath. Approach these concepts with curiosity and kindness to yourself. Healing starts with awareness. Simply by being here, you're taking an important step in the right direction. So, what exactly is childhood trauma? When we hear the word trauma, we often think of a big dramatic event, things that are clearly devastating. But trauma can take many different forms. Some of them are less obvious, yet just as impactful. So, trauma stems from experiences that overwhelm a child's ability to cope and make sense of what's happening. So, these are deeply distressing events that leave an emotional mark like a footprint in wet cement. Once they harden, they stay imprinted. So imagine this. Picture yourself as a young child, full of potential and growth, much like a small plant. So if the soil around you is full of rich with love and safety and nurturing people and care, you're likely to grow up feeling safe and secure and able to trust the world around you. But what happens when your soil is depleted or even worse, poisoned by neglect, abuse, or instability? Just like a plant in poor soil struggles to thrive, a child exposed to trauma struggles to grow up emotionally and psychologically. Even when sunlight, like even if there's moments of happiness come into their life, the unhealthy soil still affects their ability to fully blossom. Trauma can arise from many different sources: physical, emotional, or sexual abuse, neglect, death of a loved one, violence, or even the unpredictable environment where safety feels out of reach. Now, these experiences shape a child's worldview, making life feel scary or uncertain. And just like a garden can be restored with the right care, we too can heal. It takes time, patience, and the right conditions, but new growth is always possible. There's another side of trauma that sometimes is harder to spot, and that is neglect and unmet needs. Now, this type of trauma doesn't always involve a clear traumatic event, but it can be equally damaging. Imagine a child who is emotionally neglected. Maybe they have a roof over their head, food on the table, but they just don't feel seen, heard, or even valued. Maybe their emotional needs, things like love, support, attention, are constantly unmet. Over time, that child learns a heartbreaking lesson. Maybe my needs don't matter. Maybe I don't matter. Neglect can leave scars that are deep but invisible. Much like the plant that has never been watered properly, it might not wither away and die right away, but its roots remain shallow and its growth stunted. It survives, but only just. Children who experience neglect can grow up feeling insecure, struggling to trust others, and constantly searching for love and validation that they did not receive. They may not show outward signs of trauma, but inside they're dealing with that constant sense of emptiness and insecurity. So, with the right support and environment, we can begin to trust, to grow, and to develop deeper roots that ground us in a sense of safety and self worth. One of the most important things to understand about trauma is that it doesn't define you. The past may have shaped certain aspects of your nervous system and how you react to the world, but healing is always possible. So, with a combination of awareness, emotional support, and self care techniques, you can begin to heal the wounds left by childhood trauma. So, in the sections to come, we're going to explore ways to support your nervous system, helping you to move from that state of survival mode where it may be stuck due to past trauma into a place of safety and balance. Healing takes time, but with patience and care, you'll see the beautiful transformation that can unfold.